streaming. Well, you should be seeing a screen now, and hear our voices, I hope. Maybe a little background noise.
And me.
Oh,
there
yeah.
You can definitely see.
Everybody has to hear Chris. Otherwise, it's just a useless...
You try to shut me up,
yeah,
but
sometimes
good luck.
Sometimes I can. Let's see.
All right.
Good to know. Mute button.
Same color shirts today.
Oh, yeah. Quick, go change.
We got the memo. The only one we can't wear is our green shirts.
We'll figure that out someday.
I am curious if anybody here uses the OneDrive and or the Microsoft Photos on their Windows 10 computers. That's what we're talking about today.
Might as well get started then. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode number 171 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with us Geeks on Tour. Today's beginner's lesson is the cloud in OneDrive Photos, but first we have a quick tip.
Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks On Tour, and this quick tutorial video is about downloading photos from Google Photos. Google Photos stores your entire library of photos in the cloud so you can see them with any connected device. But most people also want a copy on their local computer or backup hard drive. But here's the deal. On Google Photos, it stores all of my photos. I have thousands and thousands and so many similar shots. I don't need to have all of those. I don't want to have all of those on my hard drive. I have a plan of making a monthly album of just my best shots, and those albums I do download from the cloud in Google Photos to a backup hard drive on my computer. Let me show you how. First, I want to show you my hard drive. It is an external hard drive just plugged into my computer, and it has all sorts of stuff on it. But here is one folder where I put all my backup of my pictures, and I've been doing this for the whole time. And if I show you 2018, for example, you'll see that I have one file, a zip file, for each month, January, February, March. I also make a zip file for special occasions, like a diving trip that we went on. Now let me show you my Google Photos. So here I am in Google Photos, and as you know, it's just one giant stream throughout the years of my 70, 80,000 pictures, okay? So I make an album for each month. I click on Albums, and this is July 2019, so here is my album for June. I open that album and select the three-dot menu and download all. That creates a zip file, and then it stops and asks me where I want to store it. I want it on my Seagate backup drive in the Pictures folder in the folder for 2019, and I like the album name, 2019-06 June, and it's a zip file. I click Save. If yours did not ask you where, then I recommend that you change your browser settings. On Chrome, it's the three dots in the upper right, then Settings, then Advanced all the way at the bottom, then Downloads. And notice I have this setting turned on to ask where to save each file before downloading. Otherwise, they all go to the same place. Your choice, but that's my recommendation. So now let me look at my hard drive. There is June, and I've already done January, March, but it's a zip file. Now, I think that's fine. This is my backup. I don't use my pictures on my computer. This is just if something should happen to my Google Photos, I have my best photos for June. If you do want them visible on your hard drive, then you just right-click and extract all. And it creates a folder with the same name as the zip file, and all your photos are inside there. On a Mac, you do the same thing, just double click. Rather than right clicking, you double click and it will unzip. Unzip your file, and there are all the photos. Last thing, what if you don't make albums? So you don't have an album for June, but you still want to make a zip file, a backup of all your June photos. You can just search for June 2019, then select, you click on the first one, and then you all the way down to the bottom, and you shift click on the last one. It tells me 245 pictures are selected. Those are all the ones from June 2019, and I click on download, and it will do the exact same thing I just showed you with an album. So now you can rest easy knowing that all of your photos are in Google Photos, but you also have your best for every month locally on your hard drive.
Isn't that great? Well, I'm Jim, and here together with my wife Chris, we're Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your Android phone or your iPad tablet? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks who teach. This is our passion, and we believe the best way to learn is coming up with a topic that you hit regularly. Bite-sized pieces on a regular basis is the lifelong learning, and we've collected all of our materials on our website at geeksontour.com, including the show notes for these shows, which they are recorded. As soon as we're done, anybody can watch them on YouTube. All 171 episodes now.
Yeah. What does this button do?
Oh, right. Never mind. I see a question there. Ron Brown says, yes, but you're backing up compressed pics. Exactly, which is why
we're going to get into that. So, Chris,
I use
where are we
OneDrive
now?
also.
What are we doing?
We're home in Fort Lauderdale, and oh man, did we have a great week this week. The weather was cooperating, and we went out in the ocean kayaking and scuba diving and lobster catching.
Uh-oh. Okay. Pushing wrong buttons here. That never happens.
What does this button do?
Well, we want to remind you that there is a backstage pass for our premium members only, and it is an online meeting using Zoom technology, so you can come in with your own camera and microphone, and we can see and hear you as well as you seeing and hearing us, and it's after the show. You can get the link if you just go to our website at geeksontour.com, and right there at the very top, Episode 171, you can click on that link, and if you're a member and signed in, you'll have that link to the Backstage Pass, right?
Yeah, that's fun.
Right.
We serve champagne.
She serves it to me, I serve it to her. Questions? You said you had one there.
Well, just a comment from Ron about when I download my albums from Google Photos, I do have the compressed files. They're really fine, though. They're really fine. But yes, it is nice to have your original photos also, and that we're going to show you in the rest. And Google Drive versus OneDrive. Two things. Number one, as you probably know, Google Drive and Google Photos no longer sync to each other. Personally, I think that's a good thing, because people that thought they had a backup by Google Photos going to Google Drive were wrong. You delete from one, it deleted from the other. I much prefer having my second backup on a completely separate system. OneDrive is the system that I choose, and you'll see more about that.
Okay. And that gets us into our beginner's lesson today. What is the cloud? Where are my photos in OneDrive? Chris.
Just FYI, if you are interested, if you do use OneDrive or you get convinced after today's show that you should, there's a lot more to learn, and we did episode number 100, which you can find on our website under the weekly class. Scroll down to 100 and watch that show about OneDrive on mobile.
So what is the cloud?
I love analogies. So saying I keep my photos in the cloud is truly like saying I keep my money in the bank. Notice the lowercase c. We're just talking about a generic place, and the lowercase b. You're not saying what bank. I keep my photos in OneDrive is like saying I keep my money in Bank One. You need an account. That is saying specifically where they are. So the cloud is like the bank. And very secure, kind of like the bank, too.
Right. And the cloud really is just a generic term. It means the internet. Something that's stored on the internet is typically not necessarily on your local device.
Now, what do we mean by device? We mean phones, tablets, and computers. Any computing device that can store data. And if your photos are on that device and you lose that device, you've lost your photos. So that's what the cloud is good for. Other terms for the cloud: internet, web, online. If something is stored in the cloud, you can use any device to access it. Doesn't matter if you lost the phone that took the pictures, just get another phone attached to the cloud account, you got your photos. As long as you have an internet connection and know the username and password.
Those are key.
We have known people to completely lose their stuff because they forgot their password. A little bit more terminology. So the cloud, you upload from device to cloud. You download from cloud to device. So these are just words, but I want you to know how at least we're using the words. Does it have to do with being on the device, or does it have to do with being in the cloud? Online means it's in the cloud. If your data is offline, it means it's on the device. If you're seeing it offline, that means it's on your device. Local means the same thing. Web means cloud. On computer refers to your device. On phone refers to your device. Internet refers to cloud. Web-based, cloud. If you use Gmail, all your email is in the cloud. If you use Facebook, you are using the cloud. It's not on your device. Now, Excel, most people think of Excel as software that is on their computer, so on device, which is true. But there is a cloud-only version of Excel, so that's one that goes both ways. A browser is for looking at stuff on the web. A web browser has to do with the cloud. So, your job, oops, I got a typo there, mute photos. Your job is to understand where your photos are. Are they on your device? Are they in the cloud? What account in the cloud? Or are they on both? So that's just all about terminology.
Wow.
OneDrive. To use OneDrive, you need a Microsoft account. So OneDrive is Microsoft's cloud storage service. So you need to have a username, which will probably be a Microsoft account name, like at Outlook.com or Hotmail.com or Xbox, and then a password. It's a free thing. If you don't have an account, you just go to OneDrive.com and click Create Account. If you do have one, I highly recommend that you sign in from scratch. I mean, delete or write over things that pop up automatically and make sure that you know your username and password. It's not free. Well, there is a free version, but you only get 5 gigabytes of storage with the free version. So we recommend getting the Office 365. A lot of people already have Office 365 and don't even know that that gives them a terabyte of storage. So Office 365 gets you Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote, right?
Right.
And 1 terabyte of storage space. So, and that's $70 a year. I think it is well worth it. Then that is the cloud storage service. Now on your phone, you need an app. And there is both an Android app and an iOS app. They are free. And what we're talking about here is the camera upload setting. And we will show you that. And why? Because I want to be able to free up space. I want to be able to delete the photos off my phone. They get backed up to Google Photos, but if I then delete them off my phone, I only have 1 copy.
And that's not a backup.
I want 2 copies. So if they get backed up to Google Photos and they get backed up to OneDrive, now I feel comfortable deleting them from my phone, knowing that I have 2 copies. And here's the demo.
Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks On Tour, and in this video I want to show you about backing up your smartphone's photos to 2 cloud storage services. I use Google Photos and Microsoft OneDrive. I will show you the mechanics of exactly how to do it and explain a few of the reasons why I think it's such a good idea. First, I need to take a few pictures, so I just have this dragon figurine here, and I'm going to snap a few pictures with my Samsung phone. Okay, now I have one more figurine, this little mermaid. I'll take a few pictures of her. Okay, now I'm going to show you what's on the phone. So here is my phone and my Google Photos and my Microsoft OneDrive apps on this phone. This is an Android, but this works the same on an iPhone. I also want you to notice that I put my phone into airplane mode, so the pictures that I just took are on the phone. They're local to my device, and they have not been able to be uploaded because I have all the connectivity turned off. So let's go see what happens. I go into Google Photos, and I see those photos that are on my device, but notice the 7 up here. It's saying there are 7 pictures waiting to be uploaded. It is going to upload because of the settings for backup and sync. I have backup and sync setting turned on, and if you have Google Photos, that is the default. So as soon as I turn on Wi-Fi, these will start uploading automatically. All I have to do is turn on my Wi-Fi. We will see that these photos are now being backed up to my Google account in the cloud. Backup complete. That's what you want to see. So that is Google Photos. These photos are now safely copied, backed up to my Google account. But what if something happened to my Google account? So now I'll open OneDrive. So OneDrive picks up on the fact that the camera in this phone took some photos, and its job is to upload them to the OneDrive cloud storage, and that's because of a setting. You get to settings in this under the Me and then settings, and it's this one, camera upload, that I have it on. So now I want to prove to you that they made it up to both of these cloud storage services by going to the computer. So here I am at my computer on a browser, and I will browse to Google Photos. That's photos.google.com. And I notice that I am logged in with my account. So here are those 7 pictures. They are safely backed up. If I lose my phone, I do not lose my pictures. One thing I want you to see is the size of these photos, because in order to have unlimited storage for free, you agree to a certain amount of compression. So let's just look at this first mermaid photo. 9.1 megapixels, that's fine. It's the compression is what puts it down to 410K. Now, that sounds awfully low, doesn't it? Well, that's because of all this white. There's not much in this picture. Let's look at a more normal picture. We'll go back in time to this picture, say, and it is 2.3 megabytes. Okay. Just remember that. It was 410K and 2.3 megabytes. Now I'm going to take you to OneDrive. And once again, you need to be logged in with your account. And OneDrive is for storing all sorts of different things. I just want to look at the photos. And notice there are the pictures of the mermaid and the dragon. So even if somehow I lost my Google account or I accidentally deleted photos, I would still have them here. And not only do I have a backup of them, but it is the full size. Let's take a look at the info. And this photo is 1.6 megabytes. Remember, that was the one that was 410K. And let's look at that other picture. Info. 8.4 megabytes. So my original is stored in OneDrive. And that's why I like going to both. I love using Google Photos. Google Photos has all the tools I need. But if I should accidentally delete my photos in Google Photos, I still have them in OneDrive. And I have the originals even. So that is backing up to 2 different cloud storage services.
Right. Pretty cool. What do we got?
There's another slide.
All right.
So I have been using that technique for a long time, and I feel so comfortable that I have all my photos. Even if I don't lose my Google Photos, let's say I cropped it. I had a beautiful photo and I decided to crop it. I decided to take it over to Snapseed and do some fancy stuff. Every time you work with it, it gets lower and lower and lower quality. If I then decide that, ooh, this photo would be good enough to submit to a contest, but the photo I have now in Google Photos isn't anywhere near high enough resolution for the contest, I can go to my original one that's in OneDrive because I never touch those. I see that Laverne says that she was so happy after her Europe trip to have her photos backed up in both Google and OneDrive.
Pretty cool.
And yes, Michael, I agree completely that we should not call it backup. I've just gotten into that habit because that's what Google calls it. Just the fact of your photos going from your phone to Google Photos does not a backup make. Not once you delete them from your phone. It's certainly not a backup, but it is uploading.
All right.
Okay, so now Windows 10 and the Photos app. Another benefit of, I think there was one previous slide. Another benefit of using OneDrive.
This one?
Yes, is that it's Windows. And if you have a Windows 10 computer, the OneDrive system is all built in. So all of your folders are stored in the cloud. It is a cloud storage service, but you can choose which ones you want to have locally on your device, on your computer, and they can stay in sync. And that's on a Mac too. The OneDrive folder syncing capabilities is available on Mac. The one thing that's not, next, is the Photos app. Because on Mac, you have the Apple Photos. On Windows 10, there is a native Photos app, and it can work natively with your OneDrive photos.
Hi, this is Chris Gould with Geeks On Tour, and this video is about using Microsoft OneDrive Photos on a Windows 10 machine with the native Photos app. Did you know that if you take photos with your phone and back it up to OneDrive like I do, you can now go to your Windows 10 computer and use the Photos app. What is the Photos app? Well, on the main Windows 10 screen here, you should have a tile called Photos, but you can also find it in the alphabetical list, or you can just search for Photos, and there it is, the Photos app. Open that up, and we see the photos that I just took with my phone, these little mermaids and the dragon shots, as well as everything else that I have taken with that phone with any cell phone in the last few years, because I have been backing up to OneDrive. If that doesn't happen for you, if you open OneDrive and you don't see photos that you know have been backed up, then there's probably a setting you need to change. The three dots in the upper right, Settings. Pictures can be coming from a local file folder, or here's the setting, Show My Cloud Only Content from OneDrive. If I turn that off and go back to Photos, we will not see the mermaid and the dragon. Turn it on. There, up at the top. But what do you need to see these? You need an internet connection, because this photo, I open it up and notice I can do editing to it. I can rotate it, I can delete it. This is a full-featured photo editing program. But if we take a look at the file info, we'll see that this photo is in OneDrive on the cloud only. It is not on the device. I think that's fabulous. I don't want to take up space on my device if I can work with the photo right here. However, if you are someone who does want a copy of the photo physically on your device, on your computer's hard drive, then there's another setting for that. This little icon right here, the two-toned cloud, is the OneDrive program. I click on that and go to Settings, and folders you choose will be available on this PC. Choose folders. All of OneDrive content is in the cloud. Then you have the choice. Anything that has a check mark can be on your computer, and we would be looking for one called Pictures. There is my folder of pictures, 104 gigabytes. No, I don't want that on my computer. But if you do, you can check the box. Even if you do check the box, however, there is one more thing to know, because OneDrive has this type of file called Files on Demand. And if you have that setting on, then when you ask for the pictures folder, it's just going to give you the thumbnails and not really the full pictures. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say I click this box for 2015 April. It's less than 3 megabytes. I'm good with that. And I click OK. And I click OK again. Now when I go to my files and folders and under my directory and OneDrive, I will now see 2015 April. But notice this little blue cloud here. That means that these files in this folder are available when online only. So if I open it up, I will see that each of these has a little blue cloud. I see the thumbnails, but if I turn off Wi-Fi and I try to open one of these pictures, it tells me make sure you're connected to the internet, then try again. Therefore, if you want them actually downloaded, you need to go into the settings of that folder and say always keep on this device. Then when your Wi-Fi is connected, the files will start downloading. When you see the green check mark, it means they're there.
Phew.
There's a lot going on there.
Right.
Yeah.
I just couldn't quite stop at the photos can see your OneDrive photos, but that's all you need to have.
Right.
So in conclusion, Mrs. Geek's 3-point backup system. Number 1, and if you're only going to do one, Google Photos is it. I collect all of my photos in Google Photos. Lose my phone? No problem. I have it all in Google's cloud. Number 2, I collect all my photos with OneDrive. So if I accidentally delete photos from Google Photos, no problem. They're all in Microsoft's cloud. Or if I need to free up space by deleting all photos from phone, no problem. I still have what I consider a true backup because I have 2 copies in different cloud accounts. And C, what if I need an original for a photo contest? No problem. OneDrive has it. Third point is I download my monthly albums or my important albums. You know, you might only need quarterly albums or annual, but I download those from Google Photos to the computer. So if the entire internet disappears...
Yeah, we got big problems then.
No problem. I have local copies. But, so yeah, I do not expect the entire internet to disappear. But I really like knowing that I have a local copy of my albums. That's perfect. And I sleep so well at night knowing my photos. And there's no work here, right? Steps 1 and 2 are completely automatic, hands-free. Step 3 requires once a month to look at your photos and download them.
Very cool. Bill noticed that the date on OneDrive looks like it can be changed, and will this allow correcting camera date and time issues?
Yeah. I do it just straight with Windows, though. I haven't made a video on that yet. That's coming. If you change the date on your Windows 10 machine, either just in Files and Folders or in the Photos app, that does change the metadata. Just make sure that you're editing the date taken.
Wow. Big one. Our app of the week this week is going to be Zoom. And Zoom is an app that you load on your mobile device. It really is the best way to get on with our Backstage Pass if you, for instance, you have a desktop computer. Most desktop computers don't have microphones or cameras built in. So Zoom's a free, high definition meeting app with video and screen sharing for up to 100 people. And you can stay connected wherever you go. We do it while we're on the road, and we have a couple of meetings that we meet with people all the time. High quality screen sharing, instant messaging, and it's for free.
And you mentioned screen sharing. What is so cool to me is that if you're on your mobile device, you can screen share your mobile device. It didn't used to be anything that could do that.
And this has made our presenting live seminars a lot easier when we have a big audience, and it's really cool. But it's easy. You install the free Zoom app and you click on host a meeting, and you can invite up to 100 people. And you can join any meeting, and one-on-ones are unlimited for free. Group meetings, for the free version, it's limited to 40 minutes. So we pay,
I think it's $15
a month for unlimited. We don't have to be limited to 40 minutes, and it gets a couple of other things that it'll do for you as far as, you have a personal meeting number and that kind of thing. So it's something that I would highly recommend.
And it's not by Google, Microsoft, or Apple. So that's kind of, they work hard to work with everything.
Yeah, so check it out. Zoom is our app of the week. A couple of more questions here. Richard, is OneDrive the same thing as Google One?
Oh, no. No. OneDrive is by Microsoft. Google One is Google Drive and Google Photos if you pay for extra storage. So Google gives you 15 gigabytes free and then unlimited photos if you allow it to be compressed.
Yeah.
If you pay for more than 15 gigabytes of storage, you are a Google One. And Google One gives you phone support. So I've just done it. It starts at $2 a month.
Yeah.
For $2 a month, you get Google phone support.
And Michael says he does daily tips in his community, and Zoom on mobile is the best for sharing the mobile screen. I so agree. Yeah. So go ahead, Michael. Put your link in there, and we'll share it with these folks. You're a wonderful man.
Oh, for the community, for your community. Yeah.
Absolutely. Please do. All right. Well, let's see. We do invite you to become a member at Geeks On Tour. Just go to geeksontour.com and click on the Join Now. See our website, geeksontour.com. Click on the weekly class menu and scroll down to see all the show archives. We're here on YouTube regularly. If you're subscribed, that's great. If you're not, go ahead and click now, subscribe. Click the bell so that you get notified. Any other questions in there?
I see one more. On Google Photos, do you have 60 days to get that photo back, which is very convenient? Yes, absolutely. If it got uploaded to Google Photos Cloud and you delete it, it's in the trash. And it does not go away from the trash until 60 days, or if you manually empty the trash.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I can't tell you how many questions we get on the Google Photos forum that says, I deleted my photos, I didn't mean to. And I emptied the trash.
Oh no.
Can you get them back for me?
Oh no.
No.
It's bad.
No.
Yeah.
So, yes, you can delete if you think about it, say, no, I really don't want to delete. You can go into the trash and get them back for 60 days.
Okay. Did you learn something? True or false? If photos are stored only on your device and you lose that device, your photos are gone.
True. They're nowhere else if they were just on your device.
OneDrive is a cloud service by A, Apple, B, Google, C, Microsoft, or D, IBM.
Microsoft.
Having a backup means 2 copies of your photos. If you back up your phone's photos to a cloud account, then delete them from your phone, how many copies do you have?
1.
And that's not enough.
Not a backup.
OneDrive backs up your photos in what size? Are they original, high quality, or compressed?
Original.
And that's really nice. True or false? The Windows 10 Photos app can view pictures in the cloud if they're in OneDrive.
Absolutely. Just a little checkbox.
Yep. Name 3 methods recommended by Mrs. Geek for backing up photos.
First and foremost, number 1, Google Photos. Number 2, OneDrive, camera upload. And then number 3, download to your computer your best photos, your albums from Google Photos. 3-step backup system.
Okay, we're just about done here. Our Backstage Pass is available. You can go on in there and start chatting. We're going to be out there in a few minutes.
Yeah, we're a little bit early.
Isn't that nice?
I do see one more question there.
All right, what do you got?
Is there an easy way to upload to Google Photos Google Photos in multiple folders on a desktop?
Easy for you to say.
There's manual and an automatic. If you want by far the easiest way, you download a little piece of software called Google Backup and Sync, and it will give you a place where you can just checkbox all the folders that you want it to scan and upload. If you're a little bit afraid of that automatic, and there might be some reasons to be, you can just drag and drop. If you get your folders on one part of your screen and your Google Photos on the other, you can just drag folders over and drop them off. Not bad at all.
So, Chris, what's the web page that lists all of our weekly shows?
geeksontour.com, and the menu item is weekly class.
And the web page that lists all of our recent documents.
Recent newsletters. Where do you get documents? Geeks On Tour.
I can't read.
Geeksontour.com, and the menu item is blogs and news.
That too. And why do people pay nearly $60 a year to join Geeks On Tour?
They get lots of benefits. They get to ask us any question on the Q&A page. In fact, this whole episode came out of a question from a member on our forum about OneDrive. So you can ask us anything on that if you're a member. You get hundreds of tutorial videos, learning guides, and 7 ebooks, including Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos. You get the written notes of this, and you get the backstage pass to these shows. But what we really like is the people who just say thank you by becoming a member for all the free stuff that they get. We just love doing this. So
you forgot to mention that we do promise to respond to those questions. You can ask the questions, but what good are they if nobody responds? One of us will she'll respond or make me do it if it's in my venue. We'll have to see.
Oh, there's one more.
All right.
Is there any value to having your pictures on a thumb drive? I don't see any. I do.
Well, maybe, sure. They can be a reason to have, it'll be another backup.
If you really want them very portable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that's what those there are about.
I put them on a USB hard drive because I just keep collecting them all. Now, if you have, the more places you have them, the better off you are.
That's for sure. Okay, well, that's just about it for this week. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we're Geeks on Tour.
Keep pushing those buttons.
What does this button do?
Just ask, what does this button do? Try it. That's how I learn.